Well, guys, I watched this movie, a movie that makes you feel really, really crushed and upset, followed by Arrival, a movie which makes you think a lot, and really freaks you out, the day before Thanksgiving. I am not going to talk to my family tomorrow at Thanksgiving dinner. All I'm going to be thinking about is these movies and how crushed this one got me. Not my best idea. Anyway, hey there, guys. What is up? What's going on? It's Autobot Mike 18 here, back with another movie review. Guys, it's late. I'm tired. But I've been up for a bit because I did a double feature tonight. I saw two movies that I've really, really been looking forward to. And I finally got a chance to see both of them. But it's so late that it's already early Thanksgiving morning. And what am I doing with my time? I'm in my car at 1:30 in the morning, and I'm shooting two movie reviews. Just shot one, now I'm shooting the other. That's life for you guys. Yep, it's 1:38. Happy 1:38, guys. So, guys, the movie I'm going to be reviewing in this video, if I can get the poster up, is Loving. That's right. I finally saw Loving. Definitely one of my most anticipated films of the fall, for sure. Really glad I finally got to see it. Guys, I mentioned this briefly in my Arrival video. I don't know which video I'm going to upload first, my Arrival movie review or my Loving movie review. But, again, just want to throw a quick, I'm so sorry for not having been on YouTube out there to you guys. I've only uploaded, 2 videos the whole month. Already, and I know that the month's almost over, but I'm going to get a lot of movie reviews up to you, like these 2 reviews. I wanted to do Black Friday videos, because Black Friday's a day away at this point, or a couple hours away, I should say, because they do Gray Thursday now, or whatever it is. Anyway, guys, so let's talk about the movie, but I had to make that known, guys. I'm really, really sorry about not having been on, because I've just been so super busy with school, but anyway, now that I'm on Thanksgiving break, I have time to talk about movies and make videos for you guys. A little bit of time. Just a little bit. So, guys, Loving is from writer-director, because I believe he wrote this movie he also wrote this movie. Writer-director Jeff Nichols. And I think that was definitely one selling point for me for this movie. I was really excited because Jeff Nichols was attached to the project, and Jeff Nichols wrote and directed one of my favorite films of all time, Mud. He's also done Take Shelter, as well as this year's Midnight Special. That's right. He's one of the few directors who had 2 movies come out this year, which is really awesome. I think Peter Berg was the other one who did that with Deepwater Horizon, and he has Patriots Day coming out. That said, though, I haven't seen Midnight Special yet. I really want to watch that. I'm glad I got to see Loving, though, finally. So that was one reason why I wanted to go see this movie, because I loved Mud. And then the other reason, of course, was the trailer was really good, and I really just overall loved the subject matter that the movie was touching upon. I felt it's not only important now, but it's something that is just so sad and so sickening that I'm really glad they actually touched upon it and made a film about it. So, yeah. But, guys, in case any of you didn't know, and I won't really spoil anything, although this is based on a true story. This is based on a real court case, Supreme Court case, so it's not like, it's, a spoiler because this really happened. This all actually happened, as surprising and shocking as it is. But, guys, Loving follows the story of Richard Perry Loving, played by Joel Edgerton, and Mildred Loving, played by Ruth Negga. They are an interracial couple living in the South, specifically in Virginia, I believe, let's just say this much. They want to get married, and they do so out of state, and it's really not okay with everybody in the South, specifically law enforcement in Virginia. They receive so much opposition and so much discrimination directed towards both of them because they are in love, because they are married to each other, and because they are having kids together. It is incredibly frowned upon because this film is set, and the story, their love affair and everything, their marriage, it's all set within the span of the 1950s to the 1960s. So everything that they're going through is during a time where interracial marriages are essentially illegal and very unconstitutional. So, yeah, they got a big problem, and essentially the whole movie is their struggle to overcome this discrimination of being in love with someone of a different color or a different race. And it's just being able, the movie just relishes the fact that it's important to celebrate the fact that, you know, we should have our rights to love whoever we want. And, you know, we love that person because we love them. You know, and what is it to the law to say that, oh, because you guys are different skin color, you can't be married, you can't have children, your children are going to be, you know, cast out in society and frowned upon because they're the product of an interracial mother and father, which is ridiculous. Yes, we've lived in crazy sick times. We've come a long way. But honestly, guys, I wouldn't be in the least bit surprised if now in 2016 we have some certain people out there who feel that interracial marriage and interracial dating is something that just shouldn't happen, you know. So that said, guys, that's all I'll say about Loving and essentially what the premise is and everything. But that kind of speaks for itself. It's one of those movies that I feel has a very simple plot, but it's a lot more, not character driven, but it's a lot more thematically driven in regards to what it's trying to say about this subject matter and about what these people have to go through. Note how I didn't say characters, I said people. That's right, because I feel like the characters in this movie actually felt like people to me. They didn't just feel like, oh, look, movie characters, you know? Like, they feel like characters. There wasn't anything over-the-top dramatic, melodramatic, or anything too, like, you know, like, I'm thinking, like, soap opera-y about their relationship. There wasn't any, like, okay, we need a specific, like, story structure. We need an inciting incident. We need something dramatic, overly dramatic to happen between the two at this part in the movie to make us feel even worse for them. There are real, genuine, heightened moments of tension in certain scenes in this movie. But then there are other scenes that are rather just slow where we get to just see how these people act as people. And I feel that that's due to the amazing writing in the screenplay by Jeff Nichols, and the performances by Ruth Negga and Joel Edgerton, who I feel are both amazing in this movie. Very, very well cast. Not only do they look like Richard and Mildred Loving, but I feel that they captured the broken spirit of this couple who just wants to be together and celebrate their love and celebrate their family, but they can't. So I'll get into all those like specific things briefly, but I just want to say this much in terms of me being able to connect to this film. Now, I know that other people who are in an interracial relationship are going to really, really be drawn into this film, and it's really going to hit them to just see, because I'm sure nowadays I'm in a class where I have a classmate who has verbally revealed that she's in a relationship with a man of a different race, and they've gotten looks when they were at a bar once. Like, they were at this like bar, and these drunk guys like made note of the fact that she was white and her boyfriend was black, and it just like, it really made me sick that some people actually like make note of this today. So what? People are in an interracial relationship. It's love. It's just what it's their attraction to another person of a different race. There's nothing wrong about it. There's nothing that is damaging to other people's society about it. It's straight up how people feel and just what our connections are with them. And just to have a period where people frowned upon that seriously is really, really sickening. But that said, I feel like people who are in an interracial relationship are easily going to connect to and relate to this film. I haven't dated, myself personally, I haven't dated someone of a different race, or been in a serious relationship with someone of a different race for a very long time. But one aspect of this movie I can totally relate to is the idea of being in love and wanting to celebrate love, the love that you share for your partner, because I am in a relationship and I know what that's like to, you know, want to just share that love with that person. And I'm actually fortunate enough where I can be with my person. With my partner, there's no restrictions against the two of us. So watching this movie left a huge gap and hole in my heart and in my soul as I was watching, because I was like, well, what if, like, my girlfriend and I were like, what if we were of different race, and what if we had faced that oppression, you know? Because it's like, love is something I think everybody can relate to and connect with, and something that could reach out to them in a way. So just the universal themes that this movie hits are really, really important. But of course, what it's trying to say about what equality, like how, like, equality needs to be a thing, you know? Especially in marriage and in family and you know, in front of the law. I feel like that is just the most important, like, aspect of this film, is achieving equal rights in one of the most God-given rights that we have as humans, to love another person. And this movie hits that so well, and I know I'm going so deep into it, but that's what made Loving really, really work for me, and really, really hit me, and made me feel as powerful or as upset as I did as I watched it, at what these characters go through. I mean, whether it's being woken up at like 3 a.m, just being forced out of their bed and thrown into jail because they're sleeping in the same bed together. What? They're a married couple. I mean, like, it's how people thought. It's just what was legal back then, and it's sickening. But that said, I think that's all due to a fantastic portrayal of just how people looked at that back in the day, and how much it takes a toll on our two main characters. And it's not even just like white police officers who are just like, we don't allow that here, that's not cool with us. It's just like, just people in general just staring at them or looking at them differently when they're in the store, or when they're kissing each other, because, you know, it's just, yeah, people just frowned upon that. And it's really hard to watch people's reactions to their relationship, because it's something they make public. Moving on, Joel Edgerton and Ruth Negga killed it in this movie, guys. Absolutely killed it. Both are just so vulnerable and so weakened, but they still have, like, fight in them. They still want to do whatever it takes to achieve the equality that they seek, and the freedom that they seek, as being able to live together in the state that they want to live in as husband and wife, with the family they want to start. And I feel like that is like something that I know I always praise about in terms of, like, couples in movies is their chemistry. And while Joel Edgerton and Ruth Negga do have several moments where they can express that intimacy that they have for another, a good, like, 70% of this movie is them trying to hide it, or them looking scared, or them being fearful of what's going to happen next for the sake of their family and their relationship. There's court scenes where they're looking down in shame at the floor. They can't believe what's going on, honestly. And those vulnerabilities are brought out so well by Ruth Negga in her performance, and it's one of the best performances this year, by far. Absolutely Oscar worthy. She's amazing in this film. As is Joel Edgerton, who is starting to really grow on me. He's actually a really good actor. This is the first time I've seen Ruth Negga in a film. But Joel Edgerton has given us another really, really solid performance. Just, I guess, his haircut and just his general, like, facial expressions. He reminded me of, like, a scared, confused kid in a few scenes in this movie. Just, like, how, like, horrifying, I guess, everything was, to just have to see everything that he went through, or just witness his wife dealing with injustice, being kept in jail while he's free to go. You know, just to give an example. He just looked like a scared kid, and I feel he was also Oscar worthy. He was amazing. There's one scene where he just breaks down with her, and I bought it. It feels genuine and real, and that's something that I definitely owed a good direction with Jeff Nichols working with these two actors and making everything feel as real and human as possible. That is why Loving worked so well for me as it did. There's also another scene where Ruth Negga just like breaks and just like can't deal with it anymore. And again, it's like these vulnerabilities that just creep up and attack them. It's like tough for them to deal with. And I really felt all that really well. It came out really strongly in the performances. Just other things, like as a period piece, just other things I want to mention that make the movie strong. I've talked a lot about the script, the thematic side of things. The dialogue is very strong, of course. Just other things in general with the movie. I feel as a period piece, it feels like a period piece without a doubt in terms of like production design and everything. Costumes and like mannerisms of people back in like the 50s and 60s, props and everything. Really bought into that very well. Sorry guys, I've been talking so long, my mouth's going dry. The score by David Wingo is very good. He also scored Mud. I believe Jeff Nichols uses him to score all of his movies, and he's a great composer. A lot of great tracks throughout the film. I also really love how the film was cut together in terms of like when to put certain events where, like structuring everything. I love how the film opens. I love that opening scene because I was like, is this a flashback or is it? I was like, oh no, wait, no, this is like the movie. This is like what is actually happening. This is like chronologically happening. There are a few moments where the pace slowed down a bit, and you can't always have the tension that you have in certain scenes where maybe the police may be riding to their house to sort of break up their marriage or break them apart or like throw them in jail or whatever. And you have those moments that are really tense and really like nerve-wracking for me to watch because I'm sitting there and I'm almost yelling at the screen. I'm like, don't go to the house, don't show up, don't freaking do anything to them, just leave them alone. And then you have your really slow moments where characters are just talking to attorneys or something, you know? And those scenes, I feel also really, really were strong for me. I do feel in terms of like cons I had with the film that it's slightly over 2 hours. I would have gotten this movie slightly under 2 hours. I would have maybe cut 10 minutes out of the runtime. There's probably a few scenes that aren't as memorable or as important as other scenes that probably could have been lost in the film. And didn't need to be there. And yeah, I think that's like just a general thing that I felt just as I watched the film and as I finished watching it and you know, gathered my thoughts on it and everything. But everything else from Jeff Nichols' direction to his handling of the subject matter and just how important this film is today in talking about race and discrimination and equality in general. I feel is really important apart from the script, the performances, which are amazing, and just everything else from the score and the general like production value that this film has. Loving is a really, really fantastic yet very difficult movie to watch, to accept all of these things and just watch how this is all portrayed. That said, guys, I did enjoy this movie, even though it was definitely a tough one to watch for sure. But I am going to give Loving, in terms of a score, I'm going to give it a solid 9.25 out of 10 or an A-. Definitely one of the better films you're going to see this year, guys. I could totally see it being an Oscar contender. It's definitely worthy for that. And I definitely recommend it to you guys if you get a chance to see it, if it's playing in a theater near you, because I know it's limited right now, but I would definitely recommend it if you can. So guys, that's all I have to say about Loving. What did you guys think of it? If you have seen it, let me know down below in the comments. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching my videos. Check out my review for Arrival, and I'll also be having reviews of other movies I have yet to see, like Fantastic Beasts. I'll get them up shortly, hopefully, guys, after this weekend. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye-bye, guys.